people. We're back again with episode 50. Congratulations for people who have watched and stuff, have supported back and forth. We have some interesting stuff going on today. I think that happens every day, but you know. Welcome. Got back home. It's from work a little earlier today, so it's light out, which is always nice. Yeah, there are a few things I've been wanting to watch. I don't know why I named it so much docu, because I think those are just a couple. Other than that, there's we're going to talk about some Kabul, Afghanistan news. There is a little bit of COVID news in terms of Phuket and Thailand in general. We'll get that from different news sources. And there's a documentary about YouTube. It is 3 years old, but I've never seen it. So I'm kind of excited to watch what it is all about. We just do it. Just go ahead and do it. Yeah, let's do it. There is an annoying fly stuck with. Anyways, so about Phuket, let's go with the news first. A couple of different things are happening in Phuket. Walk-in vaccinations for Thais only. Foreigners can now register for Pfizer. This is weird because I've heard through social media and stuff that people, foreigners included, can walk into Patong Hospital and get a vaccine. I don't know which one, but there are some people who have reported that. I don't know if that's oopsie, what did open Premiere Pro? Okay. No. So I'm not sure if that's something that is actually happening. We'll figure it out. We'll see as time goes by. Give me a second, police. If there's a way to fix video configurations in OBS, somebody please tell me. I really appreciate it. So walk-in vaccinations announced by the Phuket Provincial Administrative Organization last week are for Thais only, right? News follows PPAO president on Monday announcing right now about 50 to 60,000 people who are registered in Phuket have not received any vaccinations. They would like to help staff of the three main government hospitals, Wachira, Kalang, and Patong. So we will be open for walk-in vaccinations at the Phuket Merlin Hotel, that is in Patong, on the 5 days, September 1st to 5th. One foreigner informed the Phuket News that he arrived at the hotel yesterday only to be turned away. They said the vaccination station at the hotel are only for Thai people. Vaccinations for foreigners are operated by the Phuket provincial government and Wachira Phuket Hospital. People who want to receive vaccination here need to register through phuketmustwin.com. If people come to the vaccination station at the Merlin Hotel without being registered, we will ask them to register through the site by using their phone, because we need to have information of every person in our system. Makes sense, I think. Offered no explanation as to why the foreigner had been turned away. I feel that might have been just a miscommunication. That happens a lot. So I have a feeling that was probably miscommunication, and that's that. They probably asked him to wait or not. I don't know. Somebody made a mistake. Pfizer for foreigners. Good news. Foreigners 60 years old. Okay, not good news for the young ones. Foreigners 60 years old or over or with one of 8 medical conditions deemed to place them at greater risk of serious consequences can now register to the website to receive the Pfizer vaccine. The news was announced late yesterday. Okay. What are the conditions? Age is over 60 years old, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, cancer, stroke, obesity, chronic kidney disease, pregnancy. The announcement will, it gave no indication when the Pfizer vaccinations would begin. So yeah, there's that, unfortunately. Not for the young ones at the moment, but I'm pretty sure they'll figure it out sooner or later. So yeah, let's watch. Yeah, well, there's that only. Other than that, yeah, my cow wipeout. Jeez, that looks bad, man. That looks so bad. Okay, fishing for readies to open. So obviously, you guys must know that they actually shut all this. You know, the wet markets, they shut all this because that's what the whole thing about. Whole thing was about, that is dangerous. Like, wet markets are dangerous because they said that COVID came from a wet market as well, and so that's why they shut them for so long, man. Let's see what happens in the future. ABBA said to unveil sensational musical comeback. Awesome. We know all that. Everything else is old news, man. So yeah, let's watch some well, not fun stuff, but something interesting. I watched a little bit of it, but I wanted to watch it on stream with people. So here goes, man. Wait, it's just shut audio on. Yes, it is. Let's do this. Or wait. Before we do this, let's get done with news completely. So yeah, there's a video by ABC News in Deb that's working to death in South Korea. Then there is Extreme Work Culture in China by Vice Asia. Then there is Persia before Khomeini, History of Iran in 15 minutes. There's that. Then we're supposed to be waiting on these fun videos coming out of Afghanistan. Let's see what they have going on there.
The roar of jet engines and the cries of evacuees are gone. The United States' biggest humanitarian airlift is finished. Foreign forces have left. And the Taliban is surveying territory it hasn't held in 2 decades.
Today, without any doubt, was the day of Afghanistan's independence, when we don't see a single foreign soldier and whoever invaded this country without permission. We got rid of them, and this was a proud, historical moment for us.
But the celebratory tone fell flat at Kabul International when we drove from the civilian to the military side of the airport.
We are very sad, believe me, after we saw the situation. We're hurt.
This is where the Americans vacated from last night. You can still see their planes, equipment, helicopters here. The Taliban brought us here, and last night their mood was one of joy, celebration. They were shooting in the sky. There were fireworks. They were very happy that the Americans had left.
Then they saw what was left behind: disabled planes and helicopters. After the last C-17 transport plane took off, Suleiman Aqqa was the first to enter the former US base.
The first thing was they were panicking in a hurry and destroyed everything that was useful ruthlessly. They didn't leave us anything useful, nor did they leave any dignity or pride in themselves.
The Taliban says it wants a positive relationship and mutual respect with the US and international community as the group seeks foreign investment. But they say this is a bad start.
Here it is.
This is a national betrayal. NATO said we will help you and continue our assistance. What kind of help is this?
The focus now is on restarting commercial flights. The Taliban lacks the resources and technical personnel for this, so Qatar and Turkey are helping. Thousands of Afghans still want to leave Kabul and believe they are eligible for foreign visas. Many still fearful the Taliban will run a brutal repressive regime reminiscent of the 1990s. The Taliban held a news conference aimed at reassuring people it wouldn't.
We should turn a new chapter. We should bury the hatchet. We have no animosity against any particular faction, party, or individual. We transcend above this all. This is a closed chapter of our history. We are looking forward to the future with one goal in sight: rebuilding our country.
But this is a country with a long memory. Divisions and distrust run deep. The Taliban admits it will take some years for its government to reach its potential. It may take many more for Afghans to heal. Charlotte Ballas, Al Jazeera.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, I wonder what they were. I mean, yeah, we'll figure it out what's actually in the minds of American military, but leaving behind nothing, they might have thought, they might feel that, you know, that we should not leave Taliban anything, to make sure that, you know, they can't get into, they can't become stronger, but they are stronger regardless. There are several videos about other things that they have going on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was helpful at all or no. This was night before. So this is the celebration before they realized that the American military had fucked them over.
Yeah, huh?
هذا قطعة فاتح زواك.
زواك.
فاتح زواك.
فاتح زواك. ممتاز.
هذا قطعة فاتح زواك. الآن ندخل على في باب ميدان هوائي.
يلا في باب المطار حياتنا ها.
It's interesting how close this language is to Urdu to some extent. Like Hawaii means air. I don't know what Matatir means. Okay, so this is raw footage, isn't it?
Wow. Careful, there's a stretcher. Wow.
They're wearing American gear, man. Like proper
We're
gear.
here right now with the Taliban as they enter into what was...
And this man has balls.
It was an American-controlled portion of the military airport. Now they're taking over.
Have been making the most of their first day in full control of Afghanistan. An enjoyable moment of victory, according to the leadership. Taliban fighters have been keen to show off some of the equipment and weapons left behind by US forces, while pointing out that
Thanks,
they now
America,
control
again.
more of Afghanistan than they did 20 years ago, when the military intervention started. The Taliban are claiming that they have now won independence, but there are hugely challenging problems facing the country, the Taliban leadership in particular, as they try to establish some kind of stable government. Our chief international correspondent Lise Doucette and cameraman Robbie Wright sent this report from Kabul.
These are Taliban Special Forces, Badri Unit 313. They're in charge at Kabul Airport.
Our message to the Americans is they should not have any plans to attack Muslims again. Our message to all Afghans is we're going to protect them.
Surreal to enter.
That's the
what
public
was
message
US
that they're
Kabul.
doling out.
Whiteboards from a
We have
moment in time.
talked about this earlier, that we don't know what what the actual reality is, what their actual, you know, what's actually in their mind, basically. Are they going to be really diplomatic with the world just so, you know, they can garner support from the world community or not?
Just days before Kabul fell, when US soldiers plotted an orderly pullout. This is what they left behind. Hangars full of helicopters, even Black Hawks, all disabled, destroyed, so the Taliban can't use them. The best of American military hardware, the best of its generals, were part of its longest war. And now it has ended in the worst of ways, and it will live long in memory, here in Afghanistan, in America, and far beyond.
It sounds like Vietnam,
Today,
isn't
an
it?
airfield flooded with fighters. Their first urgent task, repairing the runways so commercial airlines can fly again.
As you can see, these infidels destroyed the entire airport. They haven't left any machinery in good repair. We had a team ready to fix this mess ever since we came to Kabul. Now that the Americans have left, we are ready to clean it up.
All flights have stopped, but Afghans still keep trying to get in, to find a way out of this country. Taliban guards turn them away.
Is he wearing old police?
The last US military flight lifted off last night after days of chaos and casualties, and the skies exploded with Taliban's celebration his way home.
Yeah,
Today,
that was the last
when we
one.
drive through the streets of Kabul, the city seems much the same.
Oh dear.
Until we get to the banks. To the queues stretching all the way down the street. Most banks are shut. Most don't have any money. Some people have stood here for days, wondering if they can withstand this for long.
I should build a future, I should study, so definitely if the situations are like that, that you should stay for 1 week just to take 10,000 Afghani, $100 from a bank, so it's not possible to live here.
A country turned upside down and inside out. An old order suddenly ripped away. A new one suddenly started, in chaos and uncertainty. Lise Doucette, BBC News, Kabul.
That was a good
Now, at the White
report.
House, within the past couple of hours, President Biden has delivered a forthright and detailed defense of his decision to order the US withdrawal. Despite criticism from many quarters, the president said that the evacuation efforts had been an extraordinary success and insisted he'd been faced with a stark choice between leaving or escalating. The Afghan mission was devised overwhelmingly by the Americans and led by US forces with, of course, the support of other states, including the UK.
For the past
the US
20
is
years.
thought to have spent more than $2 trillion on the Afghan mission over the past 20 years. And then there was the cost in lives. More than 2,400 US military personnel died in the course of the conflict. And that number contrasts with at least 116,000 Afghan...
This is what's wrong. This is exactly what's wrong with the US military, by the way. 116,000 people died, Afghanis died, which are civilian, police, and military, and this is what they lost, right? In 20 years. Come on, man. It's just
civilians,
disgusting.
police, and military forces who lost their lives. Our Washington correspondent, Ali Makboul, has more on the US.
And now, imagine, they're basically trying to say, like Biden is trying to say that all these people who have died or whatever, or who tried to, maintain power, they got overrun because they just didn't give a shit. That's not true. They didn't train them. They didn't give them any weapons. And now, basically, you're just speaking ill of the dead at this
Our
this
Washington
point.
correspondent, Ali Makboul, has more on the US withdrawal.
These already iconic images of a commanding officer of the evacuation mission, Major General Chris Donahue, caught in night vision, the last soldier out of Afghanistan.
My fellow Americans, the war in Afghanistan is now over.
No, it's not.
I'm the fourth president who has faced the issue of whether and when to end this war. When I was running for president, I made a commitment to the American people that I would end this war. Today, I've honored that commitment.
No, Trump started this.
It was time to be honest with the American people again. We no longer had a clear purpose in an open-ended mission in Afghanistan. After 20 years of war in Afghanistan, I refuse to send another generation of America's sons and daughters to fight a war that should have ended long ago.
It shouldn't have started by
The evacuation of more than 123,000 people, but once again blamed the Afghan government for abdicating their responsibilities and the Trump administration for entering into a deal with the Taliban. But it was this president that oversaw such a frenzied, chaotic withdrawal. In a country renowned for honoring its servicemen and women, and in a city that at its very heart pays tribute to American war dead, what looks to many inescapably like a defeat has been a huge blow, and military veterans have been vocal about their dismay.
I think it was a waste of time over there because it wasn't run properly. I don't think $2 trillion spent over there and nothing's changed, it seemed like. The Taliban's back in and they were just waiting for us to leave.
I love this country. It'll come back, but it's not in a good place right now, that's for sure.
For all the debate about the impact on America's place in the world, President Biden's decision does mean these were the last 13 US soldiers to return home in this manner from the war in Afghanistan. The US public may want their troops home, but the sense is Joe Biden has done a bad job of convincing them it couldn't have been done in a better way. Well, that speech from President Biden was exactly what we were expecting, absolutely resolute in the fact that the decisions he had made during this withdrawal were the right ones. But he did say some things that I think a lot of listeners would have found unpalatable, principally when he talked about the fact that there was no national interest for America in being in Afghanistan for the last 10 years, something that will be galling to many Afghans who have heard from the Americans about human rights and democracy over those last 10 years, and of course the families of those coalition troops who've been killed who are already struggling to make sense of the sacrifice.
That's crazy, isn't it? Excuse me more. I don't know what to say. I think I've said way too much in the past few streams about my thought process in terms of this whole bullshit. The American foreign policy at the end of the day is not to be able to easily accept people outside of the US unless they are somehow doing things for the country. Allies, using reserves, different things. It's just really unfortunate, but yeah. Anyways. Yeah, so these are basically very similar things. Let's watch this. It's basically a documentary. This is about 1900 to 79 Persia. Never seen it before. Let's see what. There you go. That's what America hates Iran. Figure it out. It's oil. It's always about oil. Always about oil. And I've just realized that my stream is not available anymore because I think that give me a second. I'm gonna pause the documentary. I think it's the music. Wait, can you guys, can anybody hear me right now? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Okay, it's on Facebook. Wait, I can see this. What the hell? Facebook. Yeah, I think it's on. I think the problem is YouTube. Stream suspended for policy violations. Can I undo it, man? No. I promise I'll be a good boy. I don't know what's happening. I'm just gonna continue. I think it's alright, but wait, I'll just put on this music and continue watching it. Let's see what happens there. Just gonna remove it, fuck it. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Let's watch this instead. Lower the volume of the music, and I'm just gonna watch this. Yeah,
is used to describe the routine of working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. This kind of work schedule has become commonplace in China, especially in tech and internet companies, as technopreneurs hope this industrious attitude will translate into business success. However, the dark side of working 996 came into the spotlight in January 2021, when an employee died while working for e-commerce giant Pinduoduo. But this wasn't the first time 996 came to public attention. In 2019, an online movement called 996.icu, initiated by
Yeah, that's what it says.
996 is a phrase used to describe the routine of working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. This kind of work schedule has become commonplace in China, especially in tech and internet companies, as technopreneurs hope this industrious attitude will translate into business success. However, the dark side of working 996 came into the spotlight in January 2021, when an employee died while working for e-commerce giant Pinduoduo. But this wasn't the first time 996 came to public attention. In 2019, an online movement called 996.icu, initiated by Chinese IT practitioners, criticized the practice of 996 in posts, stating it threatened the health of tech employees. These posts trended online as many tech workers related to the frustrations of overwork. However, many, like Nicole, still cannot escape the grind. Nicole was born in 1992. After getting her master's degree in the UK, she worked 996 in a tech company in Shenzhen for 3 years. In 2020, she left this company to work for one of the biggest internet companies in China, but the situation only got worse.
大概是9点到9点半的样子回到公司，就是一直工作到晚上9点钟起步。然后如果是下半年的话，大概基本上是11点半到12点下 下班，然后基本上没有午休，现在已经有点麻木，就是下班就休息吧，然后可能以前下了班还会弹琴啥的，现在就是基本上下班就洗个澡，然后就躺下，然后就开始玩手机，也不知道在看什么，真的漫无目的的，就是已经没有感觉，手机就这样，然后滑到差不多感觉12点半睡觉，然后一天结束。
It was really hard to make an appointment with Nicole due to her packed schedule. She ran 1.5 hours late from a business trip in Shanghai, so we had to catch her on a train ride home.
今天我们开了一个比较长的会，对，然后那个 schedule 本身应该是下午3点到6点，对，但是就是一开就开了差不多1个半小时这样子，多了1个半小时吧，对。我回家还要加班，我可以边加边聊，我们可以。没有时间再这样吃饭，对，就是早中晚都在公司吃，然后有时候还就局限在工位上，在工位上吃。我现在远程沟通的话，就是大家会，对，就是打字啊。喂，怎么了？你先睡吧。因为可能本身这个行业的变化比较
That's some
快。
heavy industrial kind of work changer.
和你进来以后，是完全可能会不一样的。这一点是没有太想到的，因为之前也没有说可能要去处理一些 emergency 这件事情，现在可能就是一个随时待命的这样子的一个状态，然后还是比较辛苦。
我感觉996之所以会出现，原因确实是他受到一个压力。在美国开玻璃厂的这个曹德旺先生，他就观察到了这个现象。他讲到这个中国的白领和美国的白领相比的话，中国白领收入比美国白领收入低，但是低的倍数是远远小于这个蓝领收入阶层的收入差距。在中国这个社会环境当中，那么低收入阶层和中等收入阶层它有一个很大的差距。如果中等收入阶层的家庭的孩子如果稍微有点不努力，就可能滑到低收入阶层。在这样的情况下，大家都有非常巨大的压力，就是我们要拼命，就一定要努力，所以就会主动的去996。
加班比较频繁。
频繁？
对啊。
频繁啊，工时都超过了。频繁。我们现在995。
平时的话
也
不是都这样了，平时可能就是某一天有工作任务比较要完成。
加班肯定累啊。
我觉得还行吧。
像每天下班这么晚，你说要开心哦，要快乐肯定是没有，那疲惫肯定是有的。
Ming is a game operation manager working in Shanghai. In her previous work, Ming faced similar problems to Nicole. After enduring the 996 system for 4 years, she decided to leave for good in October 2020. Now, Ming's working hours are much healthier and balanced.
皮克西，怎么今天选择在这里睡觉呢？啊？离职的原因是因为当时真的觉得到了一个极限了吧，就是再这样下去，觉得整个人真的都不好了。当然不只是工作时间上的压力，而是一种隐形的精神上的折磨。996它其实不是严格意义上的，就是说晚上9点下班，一周工作6天这个样子，而是现在它变成了一种，就是随时为了工作要处于一种待命的一个状态。那也就是说，你可能随时随地都需要工作。就比如说我之前的工作的话，经常需要凌晨2、3点 起床来响应问题。我甚至到后期都出现了一种幻听，就是我总觉得我的手机在响，总觉得有人在找我。
Chinese labor law stipulates that employers should not force their employees to work more than 8 hours a day, or more than 44 hours a week. However, the execution of the law seems ineffective. To avoid legal problems, HR often uses non-fixed working hour contracts to replace the term 996.
当时呢，我们国家制定这个劳动法的时候是在1994年。他当时规定的每天工作8个小时，每周工作，它是劳动法规定的是平均44个小时的这个工时制度。它实际上是和这个发达国家的这个待遇呢基本上呢是一致的。比如说像和这个美国呀、德国呀、日本啊、韩国啊，就基本上都是这个40个工时制度。就现在看来呢，它确实呢还是比较高的。那这样的话呢，就等于说执法部门呢要求违约的这个企业向劳动者进行经济补偿的时候呢，实际上这个补偿的标准呢是比较高的。执行起来呢，这个企业如果严格按照这个标准执行的话呢，它就非常的这个，就可能会把这个企业就真的就给搞垮了。这个严格来执行的话。
In China, work unions are not independent organizations formed freely by employees, and work unions established without government approval are illegal. Due to the complications of these labor laws and the difficulty of establishing unions, it is hard to protect the rights and interests of workers.
最忙的那段时间，我不是我去急诊去了4次，有一次是心脏不太舒服，就我可能，就是可能需要就是比较稳定的，比如说每个月我需要用。
What's the problem with
觉得如果是按照正常的 pass 来说的话
so many companies, they overwork you, they underpay you, they underemploy the number of people needed in your department or to help you, and they expect you to work 110%. This doesn't make sense, to be honest. I think COVID and work from home situations actually taught people that. And
第一，首先肯定还是比较高的
got a lot of companies in trouble as well because they were like, holy shit, these guys can work from
就是没有
home.
其
What
他
do we
的工
do?
作能给到现在这样的待遇。然后第二就是因为周围的人都在跟我过一样的生活，就是会有一种不甘心吧，就是别人既然都能撑下来了，那我为什么不可以？我现在已经想开了，就是我要让自己过得快乐。就以这个为目的的话，那我觉得我之前的生活方式确实没有办法做到快乐。所以我决定还是对自己好一点。
Ming now has a better work-life balance. She works from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. with a 2-hour lunch break, 5 days a week.
That's still kind of a lot still, but
所以现在的生活状态我还是非常满意
She gets to
的。
drink right
新工
after
作
work,
呢，
though.
最重要的一点就是不怎么加班，然后老板们都很随和，或者说我的同事基本上也都是属于那种，比较注重工作和生活平衡的人。在这种环境下的话，就是整个人就松散下来了。
这是一个推船，炸这个炸好吃。
In a snub to China's rat race and expectation to work long hours, Generation Z are calling on their peers to start slacking off, or as they have dubbed it, 摸鱼, or touching fish. This philosophy of touching fish is borrowed from a Chinese proverb which states, muddy waters make it easy to catch fish. It means that people should take advantage of a crisis to chase personal gains.
Yes.
如果当前没有其他紧急的事儿的时候，就会下楼跟同事摸个鱼，然后顺便买个咖啡啊什么的，看看外面的风景。你当然也不敢离开工位太久了呀，万一老板要找你找不到人怎么办？倒不如说是摸鱼，应该算是打工人仅有的乐趣了，就真的靠偶尔间歇性的摸鱼撑过这一整天。
While many have critical opinions against 996, some see it as an inevitable sacrifice for success in China. In a post on Alibaba's WeChat account, leading tech titan Jack Ma famously stated, "I personally think that being able to work 996 is a huge blessing." In another post on Weibo, he also wrote that he won't defend 996, but he salutes those who are willing to work hard to improve their livelihoods.
Working hard doesn't mean working hard to the bone, you idiot.
In Beijing as a manager, leading a team of 20 people. She believes that if you feel there's no way to escape, you should work harder instead of complaining.
从某种角度上来说是难以避免的，就是你不做，总有人来做。然后从公司的角度其实来说也是一样的，你不加班，然后其他的公司都在加班，然后你公司的成本就会提高，你的效率就会降低，然后你就会被别人赶超。有些时候可能未必是我们主动去选择的一件事情，而是说因为你身边的人都在往前跑，你就不敢停下来。哪怕我换一个工作，换一个地方，可能依然是这样的结果，也许还没有现在得到的回报高。我现在取得了一定的成绩，或者是公司给了我相应的一定的回报，也是因为我当时选择了坚持下来，而没有坚持下来的小伙伴也有离开这个团队的。所以其实我真的觉得有时候的你现在过什么样的生活是由你过去的无数个选择造成的。
I agree with that.
我觉得大家
But she is the kind of woman that you hated in high school. This is what it was, like, you know, the overachieving bastards, you know, who used to suck up to the teacher. Oh yeah, give a test today. Give a test at the end of the class. Who cares?
可能都是被动的陷入这个996的一个怪圈里面，因为就首先有一点就是其他人都在996，你不可能不996，因为你不想成为那个异类，或者是老板眼中那个表现不好的、喜欢偷懒的人。第二就是，就算是老板，我觉得他们可能也是迫于无奈而这样子的，因为我们的业绩要求确实压力很大。就这个，你要为了达成那个业绩要求，是必须就要用这么样多的工时和人来填上来，来补上来的。其实大家我觉得都是没有太多选择的。
因为中国和这个西方国家相比，我们在文化上还是有一点差异。我们的文化是有这个尊卑和上下，我们要为人上人。什么叫人上人？就是你们就是尊卑是有差异的。我们当然我们希望最后我们能够像这个更遵从平等观点啊，就是大家都是中等收入阶层。
这个必然的并不一定是合理的，也不一定是合法的。就是人作为一个人来说，那么他最主要的，我觉得还是要一个这个人性的一个解放啊，还有一个以人为本的一个这个发展理念啊，就是这些东西，我觉得是一个长远这个持续发展的一个最根本的一个东西。
The philosophy and practice of 996 is complex. Most of the employees that we interviewed evidently knew that they were sacrificing their physical and mental health, but they still persevere. Heavy stress is weighing on young employees in China due to the immense pressure they place on themselves to improve their economic position and social status. There is hope for change as some companies begin to acknowledge the extremity of 996 and offer fairer working hours to their employees. However, although 996 has been brought to the public's attention and has been criticized for many years, their practice continues.
今天不太累，今天5点不是下班，然后我们就去团建了，然后主要是看到了我喜欢的乐队，就还挺好的。但明天应该挺累的，因为我明天早上特别早有个会，我应该是10点多把我的工作消息都清完了，然后我现在有120。
Jeez.
就差不多10点钟要下。
10 p.m. in 40 minutes, yes. Everyone's an overachiever, jeez.
然后我觉得也没有什么灵魂，就是比较麻木，然后包括就是以前你可能每天就是你的心可能不用静。
Oh God, I feel really bad for this person.
就以前的那种感觉，就是我工作起来，我只是可能觉得稍微有点累，可能现在的这种感觉是，就是一直在往下坠。
Oh man.
这种感觉。
Damn. It's unfortunate, isn't it? We work and we work and we work and then we die. I mean, literally. Oh God. That was not fun to watch. It was informative though. I want to watch something like that regarding Japan as well. But you know, we'll watch it. We'll watch it soon. Soon, one of these days. Regardless, anyways, thank you guys for spending some time with me. I really appreciate it. Go check out these channels. They are awesome. This was from Vice Asia. Vice has been fantastic in so many different ways. So surprising how you know it goes to certain things. But you know what? Like, well, I'm thinking, yeah, let's watch it tomorrow when, you know, because then we watch too many downer things and there's problems. Just remember, do not work so hard. It is not worth it. Screw those people. Try your best to work as much as possible in terms of what's humanly, normally possible so you don't go freaking crazy. I think a lot of us need to be told that all the damn time. So yeah, do that and let's show it. What's showing up on? Okay. Yeah. So do that, please. You know, relax a bit. Learn to chill. Learn to relax, and try making lists and stuff. So that's one thing I have started doing. I've started making lists of different things I have to do, and what I do is I end up doing I make a checklist on Google Keep. There's, you know, checkboxes available, and the easiest things, like if there's, for example, 10 major things I have to do, even in my downtime, even if, you know, I'm not at work, I basically take those 10 things, I list them down, and then I take 2 or 3 of the easiest, the quickest ones, and I do those things first. It kind of gets me going, you know, it gets me in the groove of, like, you know, oh, I achieved it already, you know, you get this sense of achievement, and then you know, go like, okay, I'll go to the others. I did talk to one person today who said they do the opposite. They do the harder things first because they feel like they feel motivated towards going towards the easier ones later. Totally alien to me, that one, but you know, it's just how people operate. So thank you so much, people, for watching, and take care of yourselves. I will see you tomorrow with a few more documentaries, a few more news stories, and yeah, thank you for the love. Sawadee ka. Take care of yourself.